Sometimes people will have their head cut open, like the actual skull cut open if they can't get to a certain area. I had surgery through my groin up to my brain, and then I also had another surgery through my arm into my brain. So yeah, it just depends on where it is.
Shout it out and let them know. It's the Davina and Sabrina show. These girls got a lot of sass, topics with a lot of class. Davina and Sabrina show. Spill the tea, drink it up. These girls really know what's up. Spill the tea, drink it up. These girls really know what's up. Davina, Sabrina, it's Davina and Sabrina. Davina and Sabrina show.
Welcome to another episode of the Davina and
Sabrina Show. Woo, woo, woo. Thanks again, guys. We are back. Please continue to share the love. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, all under at the Davina Sabrina Show.
Right, so today, guys, we have a guest with us where we'll be talking about brain injury. So just a bit of introduction before we introduce you to our guest. So brain injury is a term that refers to any damage to the brain that occurs after birth. It can be caused by trauma, such as a fall or assault or accident. It can also be caused by a medical condition such as a stroke, tumour, infection disease, or lack of oxygen. Brain injury can impair the brain and the functions such as memory, cognitive, emotions, behavioural, and movement. So, right, we have Maia with us today. Hi, Maia. Thanks so much for joining us today. Would you like to introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, so my name is Maia Watkins. I'm a creative, a poet, an actress. I also do Reiki healing. And yeah, I'm still in recovery from a brain injury that I had 2 years ago. So yeah, thank you for having me. And yeah, I look forward to having this chat because, you know, to raise awareness about certain brain injuries and how it's happening a lot with more younger people. And yeah, just to raise awareness about it really. So yeah.
Thank you. So let's go way back from before your brain injury occurred. Do you want to tell us about your life then, the lead up to the brain injury occurring? What was life like for Maia?
So most of my life I've been working. So I started working when I was like 15 and I've been a youth worker since then. So for over 17 years, I've been a youth worker working with young people in and out of prisons, in and out of like young offenders, PRUs, schools, colleges, just youth clubs in general. So that was my main kind of job for a very long time. And before the hemorrhage, I was working quite a few jobs because, you know, you need the money. I was trying to buy a house. I was, you know, everything. You're growing up, you're trying to just sort yourself out and stuff, right? So, yeah, I was working with a lot of young people in PRUs. I was working with young people who were in and out of prison, going through court cases, being arrested, stuff like that. It was quite hectic. And then I was also working in a bar in the nighttime. And then around that, I was doing a lot of acting, and that's how I met you guys through acting, right? So, yeah, I did a lot of theatre work, commercials, TV, voiceovers. Anything creative is kind of my kind of demeanour, right? So, yeah, I was kind of balancing all of that, doing a lot. At the time, I didn't think it was a lot, but now in a different stage of my life, I'm realising, yeah, maybe I was a bit burnt out. I was doing too much, you know? And then, 2 years ago, 2022, on the 4th of November, is when I had a brain hemorrhage. And that's when my whole life kind of changed. And I had to basically like start from scratch, if that makes sense. Yeah, with everything. So, yeah, it's been a wild 2 years.
2 years, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So the type of brain injury you had, I'm really rubbish at pronouncing this,
Subarachnoid hemorrhage.
That's the one, sorry, yeah. Can you explain to us what that is?
So I still struggle with understanding it because there's different types, right? So the one I had was called a subarachnoid brain hemorrhage, which I don't know if it's completely correct, but what I know is that it's when you have a bleed on the brain and it starves you from oxygen and it bursts like one of the vessels or the veins. And depending on where it is, affects you differently. So, you know, some people, if you don't get to them in time, they can die. If you don't have a certain surgery by a certain time, you can die. depending on where it is how they do the surgery. So sometimes people will have their head cut open, like the actual skull cut open if they can't get to a certain area. I had surgery through my groin up to my brain, and then I also had another surgery through my arm into my brain. So yeah, it just depends on where it is in your brain and how bad it is and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I had.
How old were you actually?
I was 30. I had just turned 33. Yeah.
So
like a month into my 33rd year.
You would never.
I know, and I'd never heard of anything like this. I don't know anyone with brain injuries. I didn't know this was like.
And you're very fit
for young people.
Yeah,
Exactly. So I'm very healthy. Like I go to the gym, I eat well, I drink water, I train and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock for myself and for the family.
On the day it happened, what happened on that day? Take us from
so it was a strange one because I had been tired for quite a few weeks, like leading up to it, but just because it was like getting to winter, I was working a lot. And then on that day, I was just getting ready for work, like I was in the shower, and literally I felt like I was just in the shower, not feeling fine. I had music on my phone. It was a nice day. And I literally felt that I thought somebody had broken into my house and hit me over the head with a hammer, because it was literally like a blow to the head, like to the back of my head here. And then I was like, I kind of fell, but I didn't hit my head. I just fell and like grabbed onto the side.
So were you alone in the house?
Yeah, I was by myself. So yeah, because my mum had gone out. I think she went to yoga or something like that. Yeah. So like I was just at home. And luckily I had the phone in the bathroom, because I never bring my phone into the bathroom. I just wanted to listen to music that day.
Did you mention that?
Yeah, I know.
Insane. I just meant to have that.
It was a
Yeah,
Friday,
you were meant
and I
to,
just thought, I want to listen to some music before I go to work.
And
I
you
don't
never bring your phone into work?
Never.
Nah, that's a,
I'm not that
to.
person. So it was just an interesting thing that happened. So then I sat in the bath because I couldn't move, because I felt, but obviously I realised no one was in the house and something had just happened. But like, felt like I was vomiting, like everything went black. I managed to like step out of the bath and put like a towel on. I think I had my dressing gown. I had my dressing gown as well. So I had that, and then I tried to walk out of the bathroom to like, I don't know why. You know, when things just happen, you just do things. Yeah. So then I tried to walk out of the bathroom, and then I just fell to the floor. And that's when I was like, shit, luckily I've got my phone in my hand. So I called my mum I didn't call the ambulance, I called my mum. I was like, Mum, I think I'm going to die. Something's wrong with me, my head, I don't know what I was saying. Next minute, I just blacked out. I know my mum, she said, I'm coming, like I'm a minute away or something like that. She said she's coming. And then, like I blacked out. But it was weird because I saw, you know when people say like you have like, end of like you can see what do they call end of life experience? I don't know what
it could be an out of body experience somehow.
It felt like that, like it felt
seeing the white light.
I saw the white light. I saw like
Really?
like a tunnel. I saw like flashes of like, you know, like Polaroid pictures, like in black and white or like brown kind of colours. I saw loads of different things.
What kind of pictures though? Like
I saw like babies. I haven't got children, and I want children. So I was like, I saw babies, I saw like holidays, I saw family faces, I saw like weird, like just like flashy lights. It's It's hard to explain at the time, but yeah, like I saw different things, and in my head I was like, oh, I'm not ready. I don't want to go. And then the next minute, I've just saw ambulance. The people were there, like the paramedics. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I just remember the pain. The pain was wild. Yeah. It was like as if someone had literally hit you over the head. Yeah, it was crazy. And then I think they had to carry me because I live on the top floor. So they had to carry me down the stairs. And then I was in the ambulance. They did, you know, the morphine and all of these type of like medications to ease the pain. But yeah, that's all I kind of remember. It's crazy.
Did you still have a pulse though and a heartbeat? Or?
I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. I must have because I was still alive.
I don't know. Some people like
I don't know.
Can actually go for it, because for you to see that
I saw
what sounds like
it was weird. Like that's when I realized, God is real, because obviously I believe
you had your phone first and foremost.
I saw it. You know, I've always been interested in like people when they say, I had a near-death experience and this and that, and I just never understood what it is that they see, and then now I've seen it, I'm like, it's real. Yeah, it's a real thing. So it's very interesting.
So after that, obviously, it occurred. When was the next point where you'd remember, like from when you woke up? Or
Yeah,
what
so
happened?
they took me to one hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They did some scans. I don't remember any of this, by the way.
remember.
This is just
So
what my mum has
stories
told
they're
me.
telling,
Yeah, so they took me to St. Mary's. They did some scans. They realised, oh, you've got a hemorrhage, like you're hemorrhaging right now. So you need to have a surgery ASAP, otherwise you're going to die kind of thing. So then they moved me to the Charing Cross Hospital in Hammersmith. And then I don't know what they did. I have no idea. Then the next day they were like, they had to sedate me for a while and they stopped the bleeding for a bit. But then the next day they said, I have to do the surgery. And then they put me under different anesthetics and put me to sleep. And they did
At
one.
this time, though, you're still not aware.
Not
You're still
really.
not
Like,
aware,
This is from what your mum's
yeah,
told you.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Like they had, I was on the morphine and stuff,
Yeah.
so the pain, I just felt high. Like, yeah, but I knew something was wrong,
Yeah.
and I was losing memory. Like I couldn't remember stuff, and I couldn't really speak. So when I just remember like loads of nurses, doctors,
Yeah.
surgeons coming in and out. Like I remember my mum. I think my dad came, my brother. I got a lot of siblings. I don't know who else was there. Like, the people were there. But yeah, then I had to have the surgery where it's like 2 procedures. So the first one, they go through your groin and they inject this dye into your brain. But I think it is proper painful, like, because you're awake. But it feels like fire in your brain. It's weird. It's so weird. It feels like you're levitating on the bed, but you see like burning flashy lights, kind of like when I was feeling like I was dying in the other section. But they do that to make sure that the bleed is not in another area and like that there's not more than one, because obviously when they do the surgery, they want to get everything at once. So yeah, they did that. That takes a while. And every time you move, they tell you off because then they got to do it again.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but
Was you moving?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
'cause
painful,
burning,
right? And they don't
yeah.
explain. Like they're not very good because it's such a rush. They don't explain what they're gonna do. It's just like you sign some paper. I don't even remember signing this thing. It's probably signing your rights away just in case. Like, I don't know. Till this day, I don't know what was on that paper. I just was like that.
Yeah, just
and then
help me,
yeah.
like,
So like stuff like that. It's quick. And then next minute, I know they just put me to sleep. They said, yeah, we're gonna do the brain surgery, put you to sleep. I fell asleep. Then woke up like maybe I think it was like 4 hours later. And that's when they said that they had stopped the bleeding. They put like a metal, like a gold thing in my brain it's like a barrier. So that if, I don't know what it is, but it's to stop the hemorrhaging from moving all around.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like,
I think it's like a clip. they
yeah,
call it.
clip,
It's
a gold clip, coil,
Yeah.
a coil.
Yeah.
So they put that in your brain. But yeah, when you wake up, you're in mad pain because it's like migraine. It feels like a migraine times 10. Yeah, because obviously they'd be fiddling around doing whatever.
Yeah.
It's a bit crazy. Yeah.
So after they'd carried out the procedure,
Yeah.
how long after that were you in a coma? Like, what did they? How was
I don't
the,
even know. They just
Do you remember? Yeah.
they said I was out for a while, and that the surgery took long, very long, because it's very like detailed, and then they go through your groin to get to your brain. So then I woke up and then I couldn't feel my legs or nothing. Only my arms could move, and I was thinking,
At this stage, though,
Yeah.
now you're a bit conscious.
yeah, I'm awake
Yeah.
now, but I'm on morphine, so and like the other painkillers, so I feel high. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I don't know
Were you
what's
going in and out of
Yeah, like
sleep
I'm half
as well?
asleep.
Okay.
I feel sick, like I can't eat because you feel like you want to vomit. Every time you eat something, you just vomit and stuff. So you're just on fluids for like a few days. But yeah, I don't even know. They were talking to my mum. Whatever they said to her, that's
so
what the situation. Yeah.
How long were you in hospital for after work?
A long time, nearly a month. Yeah. It was a long. But then I came out, then I had to go back in because you relapse. They don't tell you these things that.
So the aftercare was not.
Nah, the aftercare is not good.
really poor.
Nah, it's not the best.
What do you mean? They let you out at what stage? Within how many?
So, because I wasn't able to walk.
Yes.
I'd lost. So they do these tests, like they come around and they make you do these weird tests, like to see if your cognitive movement is okay, to see if your memory is okay, if you can count, if you can speak. Because what I learned is that each person has different side effects because each person's brain is different, right? So like I met other people in the hospital. Some people they couldn't move their arm or they couldn't remember or speak or whatever. But I could speak. It's just, I just couldn't feel from the waist down. I couldn't feel nothing. Yeah, like I was just, and they kept saying, oh, you know, there might be a chance you might not walk again, stuff like that. And you're just thinking, rah, like this is actually a serious thing. So like they'd come in, they'd do tests, they'd make you close your eyes and they'd say like, lift your left leg, lift your right, like point your toe. But in my head, I think I'm doing it, you know, and I'm not doing it.
Is it?
Yeah, because I'm closing my eyes, I'm like thinking I'm doing it because you're like this and then they say, lift your left leg, da, 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 da.
And you're literally
and they're touching your toes and they're like, so say this is their hand and they're like, push up. But you think you're doing it, but you're not. And then you open your eyes and you see their faces and you're thinking, why are they looking so concerned? Like, what's the problem? And then they're like, oh, we'll come back tomorrow. You just need a bit of rest, you know.
They'll try not to make you worry.
Yeah, they don't want to stress you.
Yeah, panic you.
But
Yeah.
when they leave and then you try to do it yourself with your eyes open,
No,
you're
you're
like,
right.
yeah, like you can't go toilet by yourself, you can't bath, you can't do nothing. So everything is just, you just feel like your independence is gone. So then when they say, oh, you know, you're not moving much, but, you know, it takes time. You might not walk again, but you might, I don't know. And then you're just thinking, nah, I got things to do. In my head, I'm thinking.
Was you really still like that?
Yeah.
Was you still?
Yeah.
But was you actually comprehending what was like that?
Yeah.
Like
A little bit, like,
not
they
that
said,
you actually had a brain.
yeah,
like-
like I did clock it when because then they left me in the ICU, which is like the intensive care for a very long time, where there's just you and another patient. And then you just see that different patients coming in with brain injuries similar to yours or a bit different. And then one of the patients, he passed away, like right in front of me. And then you start realizing, it just depends on timing, you know. It's not even about like what you have. It's just whether they get to you on time and where it is on your brain.
Yeah.
So like it just makes you think, if it was 5 more minutes, I could have died. But this person, theirs was 5 more minutes later, so that's why they died. Or they're in a coma or something like that, you know. So it just makes you realize it is actually your brain controls every single part of more than your heart, I would say. But I don't know if that's true. But
No, it is true. Yeah.
in my head, I feel like the heart and your brain is the most important, right?
But the brain.
But the brain
controls
is like,
everything,
I couldn't remember nothing. Like they were asking me questions like, oh, what day is it? Me, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know how long I've been here. Then they were asking me, who's the Prime Minister? These times is when it was different ones. So I'm
I was like, oh God.
is it Boris? Is it this one?
What question to ask?
Silly
though?
questions, you know. And I'm just like, I don't know, you know. Or they say,
Did you
what?
know your name?
Yeah, like I knew my name.
Okay.
I didn't know, at one point I didn't know my birthday. So I was like, wait. I was thinking, wait, what is it? Like, and you're proper concentrating, you know, and you're proper like, nah. You think
Yeah, and you've got to focus really
yeah,
hard,
you're
isn't it?
focusing,
Yeah.
but it's, at the time you just think, oh, I'm just tired. But when looking back now, I can be like, yeah. And even now, like some of my memory is still a bit shaky. Like people will tell me stuff and I'm like, was I there? Like, I don't remember this, you know. Or they show me pictures and I'm like, oh, this makes sense. Like, yeah.
Because I think it also matters which part of the brain, because there's certain bits which is more personality based.
Yeah,
Depending on where the location of the bleed
and
is.
some people get angry. Like I met a lot of people, they were very angry and they would start shouting and stuff in the hospital and, you know, NHS, they just put you in a room with loads of people. Like they move you from different wards, like depending on how your stages are and how your mood is. And
What mood were you then? Like, would you?
so for the first 2 weeks, I was in the ICU because I couldn't move. I couldn't move. So they had to do everything for me, like washing, this, that. And I was on these drips because I kept thinking, they take you off morphine, but the side effects of that is quite strong. So you get nightmares, like hallucinations, stuff like that. Okay. But
It's like withdrawal
yeah,
symptoms.
yeah, and you feel itchy and like all these things. And just, if you can't move, they have to watch you like 24/7. And then they moved me, after that, they moved me to another ward.
Because you slowly started to get a feeling?
Nah.
Still not?
Yeah, no, nothing.
Was it high dependency you were moved to?
Yeah,
Because that's the next.
yeah. So that's
okay.
the
What was
one
it? Okay.
where there's maybe like 4 other people in the rooms that you're in, but they've had like other injuries, like maybe they've had a spinal injury which has affected their brain, or a stroke, or like fell over, hit their head, like some old people that happened to them and stuff. So you're with different people, but like everyone's just going through it. Like there was one girl, she was told she was never going to be able to walk. But then like a few weeks later, I see her, she's just doing one, like she had the crutches, she's doing one step. I said, nah, if she can do it, let me try. So I started looking on YouTube, but I couldn't really look on the computer too much, or the iPad or the phone, because it would give me migraines. So I would have to listen to stuff. And I'll be like, okay, this is what this person, the physio would come, they would do more tests. And then I started to feel a little bit of feeling, but my right leg is still the issue now, is that sometimes it goes really, really stiff and you just like a cramp, you can't feel nothing, or you get mad pins and needles. But that's the side where they went through to get to the brain. So they think maybe they hit a nerve or they were rushing or whatever. But yeah, like slowly you start to feel things, but I can't walk, but I can like change position. Whereas before it was just straight legs only. Whereas now I can like move a little, like lift it a little bit like that, or you feel a little toe moving or whatever. But it's like slow, very, very slow. Yeah.
Love the show? Show some love back.
Like, follow and subscribe. We are on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. You know the drill.
All under at The Davina
And Sabrina Show.
So you've touched on rehabilitation. What's that been like? Because I know there's like occupational therapy, there's cognitive. How's that been?
Yeah, it's been up and down. You know what? Because when you can walk a little bit with the crutches and stuff, or come out of the wheelchair, or go to the toilet by yourself, for instance, that's when they were like, okay, yeah. And, you know, you might be able to go home soon. And then I was getting stressed in there because I hadn't seen daylight for like 4 weeks, you know?
Yeah.
And I hadn't been outside or nothing. So I was like, I need to get out of it. And they put me in this ward with crazy people. I was like, get me out of this place. It felt like prison. I was like, get me out. And you know me, the food is dead. So if the food, I can't eat that. I eat healthy things. So I was like, I can't, this is not a place to recover. For me, I need to be in my house. I need to have a bath. Like, I need to have a shower. Like, my hair was mash up. Everything. You know? Yeah, mash up. Everything. Yeah, it was terrible. And then slowly when I got out, they had to make me do this test where you walk around the hospital with the crutches for 5 minutes. They ask you questions like, say the days of the week whilst walking around, and you're doing it slowly, and then they say, okay, you can probably go home soon, but they had to put like railings in my house, you know, adjustments. The woman had to come and check, because I live on the top floor, it's stairs everywhere. So, you know, they had to put the railings, give me the crutches. I had to do the physio. I had to go to the physio like three times a week for her to do the things, the exercises. Then I have to do it at home. And then slowly, like towards the end of last year, I got a PT, because I had to pay for that though, because they weren't trying to give me that on the NHS. Yeah, they gave me the physio for free, but I felt like I was losing muscle. Like I was very like weak. So even walking with the crutches, I could only do it for 5.
Being an actual personal trainer to gain the muscles.
I needed it, to do with, I wanted to sort out my nutrition, my strength. Because before all of this, I was very healthy. Like I would go to the gym, I'd do yoga, Pilates, pole dancing, everything, like anything, strength.
What was your diet like food-wise though?
I'm pescatarian, so I eat fish. Okay. But I eat a lot of like healthy fruits, everything, like, you know, I'm good. That's why people were shocked, because they were like, you of all people, you don't take medication or nothing. So like I'm not like an unhealthy person. So I was like, I need to get back on it, and I got on my PT. I still have her now. Good. Like she's been I think without her it would have taken even longer, because waiting on NHS to do the tests and come to the gym.
Is it a specific PT though? Like that's like
like she works with women with injuries, mums, like people who want to gain weight, who want to lose weight. She does nutrition. Her name's Emily M's Power, if you ever find her on Instagram. Yeah, she's good. Yeah. She had like a little gym in her.
Where have I heard that name actually?
She's known.
Sounds familiar.
She does like a lot of safety for women in gyms. Like, you know, making sure that you feel confident when you're in the gym, you don't get harassed by men or like other people, or, you know, building that kind of energy. So she's good, like with confidence, and because I was still on crutches, I just wanted to learn to like come off 2 crutches and go to 1. And I'm still on 1, but it's a massive improvement in terms of like, even I can like walk, I could go to the gym on my own now, and like I still get help with the people in the gym, but like, you know, doing a little weight with the arms and like doing a little leg press to practice is
Getting the strength back.
And if I don't go, that's when my legs stiff, and I can't move. So if I have like a week off, if I'm ill or something, it's like starting from scratch. So I have to go. If I don't go, it's a long day.
And you've even learnt to drive as well.
I learned to get back into drive. I wasn't allowed to drive for time because I couldn't feel when you're pushing the pedals or whatever. And now I can drive, not too much on the motorway and stuff, but
slowly getting your life
I can
back.
drive more independent and stuff like that, getting around. But it's been a wild.
Mentally though, how like, because you're smiling, you're kind of even laughing, which is, I mean, but I don't know, I get the sense you kind of was still like that during that time, or did you go a bit into a depression?
No,
like,
I did. Sometimes I go into like bouts of it. Because you get angry, you get frustrated because you're just like, I'm a very independent person. So when you can't do things, even if your leg is just stiff, for like the other day I was mad tired. I was thinking, I can't do anything. You don't want to let people down. Maybe you've planned something with friends or family or like, you know, stuff like that kind of gets you down. But they did give me the therapy as well. It's like brain. So what they give you is like the physical side of physiotherapy. Then they give you a brain psychologist, I think.
Okay.
I don't know what. Neuropsychologist? Something like that. So like you have to go to her every week. But sometimes you do exercises with her as well as talk about like the effects of it, like PTSD.
That was going to be my next question.
That's something that they say that I had was PTSD, a bit of depression, anxiety, health anxiety, because I still have, basically, a long story short, I had to have another surgery last year on the brain, and then they found something else, like it's another bleed, like what I had before, but it's not moving and it's stable and it's in the same position. It's not like growing or moving or anything like that. So because of that, I have to go for regular checkups. So, but it causes anxiety, you know, like every time you're in that little, like I'm still waiting for results for certain things now, and it's something I have to live with forever. They've basically said, but they've said if it moves or goes next to an artery or something like that, then they have to do the other surgery that they did before and take it out. But then that could mean more side effects. Like starting again with the walking and
Are there things they say that you should be doing to prevent it?
No, all they say to me is soft life. They just say have soft life.
Soft life. Well, what do they say actually caused it though?
They don't know.
They actually can't say.
They
do you have
don't
any
know.
history of that in the family?
No,
or anything?
they don't know. But they
cannot
did ask me
pinpoint.
questions. Like they said, they asked me like, have you had babies? Because they say sometimes if you're pushing when you give birth, or the
tensing.
at a certain age, I don't know, it could cause something in your brain. They asked me if I had the COVID vaccine because that causes that and blood clots and things like that. I said, no, I never had that. So they asked me like so many things like, did you fall over? Did you hit your head? Like whatever, but they don't. They were just like, oh, you're just unlucky then. I said, okay, cool.
That's insane though.
Yeah, but in my head, I think maybe I was overdoing it with work and that maybe I had it all along, but that triggered it. Maybe, I don't know. But I asked them and then the man was like, no, you could be the richest person in the world living the softest life, but this can happen to you. So, they don't know, but they did rule out like the COVID vaccine.
Ruled out certain things.
Other medical, like family history and stuff like that. But
It's just one of those things.
it's crazy. But now they've just said, because now you're prone to it, because they found the other thing, that thing, it's another name, but it's so long, I can't even pronounce it. It's like an infula, something membrane, something. It's long, like, I had to write it down. I don't know what the name is. It's not a subarachnoid hemorrhage, it's something else, but it can cause a subarachnoid hemorrhage. So that, if it grows or moves, they have to remove it. But I'm waiting. I had a scan, literally a month ago. So I'm waiting for them I have to have a meeting with them in the new year to look at the pictures, and then they're going to show me like what it is before and what it is now to see if anything needs to be done or.
What's your coping mechanism then, like just mentally?
Do you know what?
Like,
I
just-
always was a bit of a spiritual person anyway. So, like, me, I'm Rastafari. So, me, I just believe in God. I pray.
Yeah.
Like, I do meditation. I do, like, in my gym, it's a very good gym because they have, like, classes for people who've had injuries like strokes and like
specifically?
like
What kind of gym is that?
Virgin Active. So they kitted it out. Like at one point when I was in hospital, I come back and they got this machine, that machine. I said, okay, this is good. So so I go to those classes for the recovery, like Pilates on the machine, but they have it for like people with injuries. I got into poetry. I started doing poetry, and that's been very healing for me. I started like Reiki healing. I didn't really know about Reiki, but a nurse told me about it. I don't think she was supposed to. She kind of whispered it.
Because they're like,
it's
the
alternative.
but this is
You
good.
know, but she kind of, I think she knew
in
my
hospital?
vibe. Yeah, she kind of knew my vibe. One time I was just listening to something music and I was a bit upset and she was just like, oh, you know, my brother had something similar to you and he's now living in Bali doing this and that. And I was like, oh, I went to Bali and then, we kind of just had a connection. I can't even remember her name, but otherwise I would have found her and gone back to find her. But she just was like, oh, have you tried Reiki? And I was like, what's that? And she kind of showed me about it. And then when I came out, I found a Reiki therapist and I had it. And it made my I had a lot of really good sleep after the Reiki. I hadn't slept for a while.
So Reiki is about the position of the energies around the
so
energy
it's like
fields.
you have chakras, right? Like energy points in your body. And if trauma happens to you or anything happens to you in life, they can cause disalignment with your energy, right? So it's kind of putting you into alignment spiritually, physically, mentally. Yeah, it's interesting.
I do actually. I'm kind of into that. And I don't do it, but you healing hands.
Hands and meditation, the music, sound healing, stuff like that. So because I started going to like different classes, different healing circles and stuff like that, and then I thought, you know what, I actually want to learn this for myself because I don't understand it. So I went and learned it. I did I'm doing my diploma in it, and then now I do it for other people, and I do it for myself. It was a selfish reason to do it for myself, but now I kind of do it. I kind of do it for others. That with the poetry, and I've just said to myself, like my surgeon even said to me, like, because obviously I can't go back to full-time work. I can't really go back to that working thousands of jobs. You know, my some of my jobs were not very supportive. So you know, it's like you die tomorrow. They replace you on Friday. You know. So it was that kind of some of them. Some of my jobs were very, very nice and supportive, but others, and it just made me know. All right, I'm not giving myself to this hustle. Like the hustle culture, it's not good. We don't know that until something bad happens to you. So my surgeon was like, you need soft life, find your man, have your children. I said, children ain't soft life.
Soft life.
But he said, do something creative, be healing. So now I just say to myself, if opportunities come and it's not creative and it's not healing, then I'm not doing it.
So now, so you Reiki certified Reiki healer.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Thank you.
And your poetry. I mean, you're doing pretty well with your poetry.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about that. Then.
Yeah, so I started obviously I did a lot of acting before, and I can't really do theatre at the moment because of my mobility and stuff. So I was just bored. Like. Recovery is boring. Like you're just sitting at home. Everybody's going carnival. Everyone's going here holiday. Me, I'm just sitting there quiet. Like it's boring. So I just started writing my poetry, and I lost a lot of memory. So poems that I had were lost. So I had to like try and remember them, and I used it as a technique to bring back to get my memory back.
And that's
and like obviously with acting, you kind of have to learn your lines and stuff like that. But I was struggling. I couldn't learn nothing. Like so, I forced myself to like try and learn stuff, and then because I wrote a lot of poems in my head, and then I had to write them down. Then I created a poetry book as well, which is now out. Yeah, I released
well done.
it this
Published.
year.
Well done.
So I've released. But I've just done that throughout this journey. I found it quite healing.
Part of your recovery.
Yeah, and like I've had like some people to help me because I couldn't do stuff on a computer and. the writing and all of that. So yeah, but all the poems are like about healing, like life. It's called Life, Lost, Love. Yeah, the dressing gown poet, Life, Lost, Love. So each chapter is different things. There's So yeah, that's kind of helped as well because.
So your family and friends.
Yeah.
How have they been throughout this journey?
Yeah,
so
they've
far?
been supportive. Like, it's weird though because some people were not supportive who I would have expected to be supportive. So I've had to take the initiative and not cut people off because I'm a forgiving person, but I've had to step away from certain people. Some in the family, some out, which it's kind of heartbreaking, but at the same time, like you gain new friends and new people. But yeah, most of my family, like my mom, my dad, they've been all good. Like my brothers and that. My friends have been really supportive. The poetry community, like all the different creative, like my agent, stuff like that. They've been very, very supportive. Like I can't complain. Like even people, like my young people that I worked with, some of them were in prison. They were like messaging me. I was thinking, you got phone inside. You better, don't get me in trouble, you know. Don't get me in trouble.
That's not been done in prison.
But you know,
That's
like
funny.
people who I just did. I had the
nice.
friend who was inside, and he came out, and like he came to see me like the first day he came out of prison and stuff like that. I hadn't seen him for long. Just people that I wouldn't expect, or you know, you just see people on Instagram, you follow them, but they're not your tight friends.
Yeah.
But you just support each other. Like
Sometimes they're more.
yeah,
than
like,
your actual,
and it's surprising. You're like, raw, okay, this person, they've been through stuff as well, and that you never knew about, and now you can relate on a different type of energy. But yeah, like it's without my friends and family, I don't think I would have been as active and like persevere as quickly as I did. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a crazy one, but
It has.
Yeah,
And I love the way you've just turned it around, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Like, it sounds like
persevered.
things, you know, when things happen in life, you take stock of it. Obviously, it's not been an easy road
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you've gone
yeah.
up and down, but you found maybe your purpose.
yeah, I think
And
so.
you feel, not maybe, you found your purpose. Unfortunately, you had to
100%.
come through a different way,
Yeah.
but you're here. I keep going back to, if you're saying that you've never had your phone before, that, to
Yeah.
me, that's like, do you know how
I
big
don't
that
bring my
is?
phone. You know, some people
Yeah,
bring their
big,
phone
yeah.
everywhere. It's attached to them. Me, I'm not that person.
It was meant to,
Like
it
I
was,
forget.
yeah.
Sometimes it's on silent for 5 hours, and I'm like, oh crap.
Because it's
when I
that,
mean,
that could have made the
I
difference.
have it everywhere.
No, but it's made me
Yeah.
paranoid now because now I bring it because I'm like, if I'm by
Yeah.
myself and
Yeah,
stuff
of course.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, of course,
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
to,
But that could have been a difference between calling your mum, not being able to
Yeah.
call you, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Because
you're
of
here
the
to tell
layout
tale.
of my house as well, I probably wouldn't have, where I normally keep my phone, I probably wouldn't have made it to get it. Like I probably would have just hit my head or just fallen down the stairs or something like that because I was going to call the ambulance, but I don't know, you think very rationally when you're like, oh,
you?
yeah, like, it's so
rational?
weird.
What
Like,
must be more
me, I was
like,
thinking, like, I need to call the ambulance. I'm in pain. I'm going to die. But how they getting up the stairs? Like, because I live in the top, but you have to get through the second door and then come to the top. Like, how are they going to get there? Like, this is a fire door.
Right,
And
you
then-
had to thinking that
Yeah,
whilst you were
I
on
was
the floor.
thinking, then I was thinking, like, I call my mum. Luckily, she answered because my mum don't answer the phone, you know. Like, she's always in yoga or swimming or whatever. So she don't really answer. But for some reason, she just happened to have the phone and she answered, and that's when.
Did you feel like things had slowed down? Because you were quite rational
Yeah.
about it. Did it feel like things... Like,
Yeah.
I imagined it to be like really
No,
frantic.
it wasn't
but
really
was just,
like that.
Really,
it was slow.
like,
Yeah.
Okay.
It was slow and fast. Like when it felt like the hit, that was fast. I was just like, who is trying to kill me? Like, literally, I was proper looking around. I just felt. And then they said, I felt mad hot, like as if I was burning. So I put the cold tap on and they said, apparently that's like a thing that you should do. I don't know why. Yeah, it's meant to cool you down or something like that. I didn't know, but
Caught
I
up
just-
on what? So,
because my head felt like it was on fire.
Yeah,
I
to
just
cool you down.
Yeah, otherwise I would have been able to move, I think. And then like it's just weird, like how your brain works. It's like obviously it's
When you really
divine
need
power as well. I don't know. I believe in God, so
Yeah.
I just think
definitely
there
from
was-
taking your phone into
Yeah.
the bathroom.
like,
and-
it started from there.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
Do you still, so I know you've gone therapy, helping with PTSD and stuff. Where are you at with that though? And obviously you're doing your healing.
Yeah.
Does
So
it
I still have to go to the lady
Yes.
once a week for the therapy and stuff like that.
It's helpful.
Sometimes it's online, sometimes in person. And she does like techniques and stuff. Because when I have a lot of scans in the MRI,
Brings
you know
back-
the little tunnel thing that they
Yeah.
put you in?
I mean, that-
sometimes you're in there for like half an hour and you're thinking,
Can't move.
yeah, you're not allowed to move. The noise is bright. It's
quite
not a
claustrophobic,
holistic
isn't it,
place.
like,
yeah,
being in there?
it's not nice. Like being stuck in there. Kind of brings back memories and stuff. So she kind of helps me with techniques like breathing technique, things with anxiety. Because I do get anxious. Like even certain activities, if my friends are calling me to come here, I'm like, oh, can I go? Like even when I went Morocco the other day, them lot went quad biking. My surgeon was like, absolutely not. You better sit down.
gosh,
He said, sit down. You do it. Even things like your insurance.
Yeah.
Like you can't get no
yeah.
life insurance. You can't get medical care. You can't like
What about travel insurance?
I can get travel. I got travel
Is
insurance.
it slightly higher though? or-
slightly.
Slightly.
I think 600.
Very high.
600 for
for
the
what?
year. And that's the bait like without sports and stuff. Like
And
no
what-
cruise, no nothing.
Yeah.
That's
And what
just-
about flying? Are
So
you
yeah, I
okay
wasn't
to-
allowed to fly for a while. To be fair, I did go away before I was technically allowed, physically allowed. But I couldn't handle it.
Short haul. You can't do long haul. Yeah.
But I couldn't. I need to get out of here. And my surgeon was like, "No, you need sun. You do. You look pale. Like you look mashed up." Like
You said that?
the surgeon. I'll go.
And the sun is good for the
Yeah,
soul. It's
and
very
it did
good healing,
help. I
isn't
do
it?
feel like it helped. It's just the whole. You get assistance. Obviously, you can apply for the assistance and. Yeah, I had a cousin. My cousin works for one of the airlines, so she kind of hooked me up with a nice little trip just to help me. Yeah. But small stuff like that, because without it, it's long otherwise. Yeah.
So, what would you say to someone who's, just gone through what you've gone through there at the start of their journey? What would you say in terms of advice or is there any?
The main thing I would say is like ask for help if you need it, because me, I'm a stubborn. I don't want to say stubborn, but I'm very independent. So like there'll be times where I was in pain. Even now, sometimes I'm in pain, but you don't want to burden the people closest to you because they've already been through it with you. So it's like you kind of keep it to yourself, but you're secretly struggling. So I would say like just ask for help. Ask the NHS. They don't really tell you what you can and can't get in terms of like disability support. You're off work, especially if you're self-employed. Like if you're self-employed and you ain't working, you need to go on job seekers allowance or whatever, innit? Like disability allowance. But they don't teach you that. And because I couldn't go on a computer and stuff like that to do it, I had no idea. Like I've always worked. So you need to try and find like an advisor or like a coach to help you. You could get it for free. Just have to beg it with them because they're
To get
fast.
as much as you
possibly. Because
can.
I didn't know anything and I was suffering for months, and my job wasn't paying me. It was just the statutory sick pay. It was like £300 a month, and it's like I got things to pay for. You're doing good. So then you're borrowing off people, and then you feel like a burden. So I would just say like try and as soon as you come out of hospital, get someone that you trust to like look into it for you and keep all your medical documentation and make sure they stay in touch with you and make sure if you need like help with like changing the bath setting or you need wheelchair access or like whatever, just like don't think that you're too. Don't use your ego, lose your ego, get your help and like obviously focus on your. I think the hardest thing is the mental capacity of it, because the physical it hurts and it's long, but there's the mental that comes with it. It's like when you're by yourself and stuff. If you have nightmares, if you're on the medication, because I was on medication for ages and you had to take it every 2 hours for like a month.
So you can forget.
So you can't sleep. Every 2 hours your alarm's going off, So and you have to like it's like you're on drugs. So like stuff
Are you
like
still on
that.
medication now? Do you still?
No, they took it off. Yeah. I'm happy they took it away. Yeah, because it was getting long. Like because you're not sleeping, you don't have a full hour. You only have 2 hours sleep every. So yeah, I would just say ask for help. There's also some charities that there's one charity in particular. It's called Same You, and it was funded by I don't know if you know her, Emilia Clarke. She's an actress. She played the dragon lady in Game of Thrones, the blonde hair.
Oh, the blonde hair. Yeah.
So she had
She had
two brain
yes,
hemorrhage, the same as me. But she had two. whilst filming Game of Thrones, I think. So
Wow.
yeah, and I think her second one was really traumatic, and it it's been hard for her to get back into acting and stuff like that. So she created this charity, and they've been really helpful for me. Like they give you like advice and resources for even your family can look at it as well for them, because they won't know what to do. No one's ever been through it. They're on Instagram. They share your story. You share your story. You meet other people. You go for like group talks and stuff like that. So yeah, I wouldn't have known about it if I didn't follow her on like Instagram, because I like her as an actress. So yeah, it's interesting.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Listen, your
I know,
story is
life.
inspiration. You've come back and you're smiling.
Yeah.
Before we bring it to a close, like what's next for Maia Watkins?
Yeah, so right now I'm just, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm just
Healing.
obviously doing my Reiki healing,
Yes.
but I try not to do too much because it takes energy. So
Yeah.
I have a few clients but what I want to do is do like end of life care in hospitals, like volunteer in hospitals and because at the same time, whilst I've been going through this, my cousin was also going through cancer. So like both of us, we'd go to each other's appointments, and in some of her appointments, they had Reiki practitioners coming to the cancer patients and doing like massages.
So that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
now,
I want to
right?
do
You wanna
that. And
provide
like,
the alternative.
yeah, or for like young people who suffer with anxiety, and do like more holistic kind of, just creative holistic stuff, you know, like my poetry. Been selling my books.
So where you selling it?
On Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon,
And in
guys.
person, Amazon.
Listen.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. And then I go into schools like lately just to talk about the journey and work with like young women and young men who suffer with different things. And
To show that you can keep going. There's still a life after, and you make it work for you.
Yeah. So just doing that, like a little bit of voiceover work. Trying to get back into. I want to do theatre, but that's the thing. That's
You're
like,
going to get back there.
Yeah, I miss it so much, but you know, just the struggle is like,
You'll get there.
it's hard. But
I
you
can
know,
see it in you in terms of your determination.
But some of the acting things just made me realise, like, you know, for actors with disabilities and stuff, you think there's work for them, but there's not that much.
It's not that,
So I want to help,
it.
like, like,
it's getting a little bit better.
it's getting a little bit better.
representation, but it's still a way to go, right?
It made me realise, like, it made me like very grateful to the fact that I still have life, you know? Yeah.
And you're making good, you know, you've turned it around and making it work for you. So well done.
Thank you.
It's a good mind. Listen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah.
Good to have you. And honestly, that was inspirational.
thanks for having
and then
me. I
we'll
appreciate
definitely
it.
put up information, you know, but
Yeah.
bestseller you be next. Yeah. Listen, thank you so much, guys. So again, we are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Please continue to share, share the love. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Shout it out and let them know.